There's something you need to know about schools. For more than 7 decades, education colleges licensed by the government have indoctrinated future teachers to make ideological war against parents and parenting. And one main idea is this one. Parents have no rights or claims over their children or what is taught to the children once the kids hit the school system. The teachers officially, and this is official policy and this is how it is taught in the government school system, they stand en loco parentis. That's a Latin phrase meaning the place of parents. The teacher stands in the place of parents with all the authority of a parent, doing the job of the parent. And so parents who do complain about anything are officially, because of this official policy, they are officially ignored. Teachers are drilled in ways to lie to parents when this happens, and you may have heard this one. You are the first one to complain. All the other parents think everything's going just fine. You're the first one. And school boards also are controlled by clever rules of manipulation, and one primary idea, again, is this one. The experts in the government know what they are doing, and parents must not be allowed to interfere with the scientific management of the student mind. And so school boards are coached not to give in to the pressures applied by ignorant parents who don't know any better. They're not the experts. The government people and the teachers and the experts, of course, the PhDs and the teachers' colleges are the experts. So parents, I have a message for you today. No matter how loud you get or how many of you storm the school board and the school board meetings to protest whatever it is, medical mandates or CRT mandates, you will never be heard by them, ever. You will never be respected. Your wishes will never be honored. As citizens, your legal authority over government magistrates will never be acknowledged. You will never change the international curriculum which is being forced onto your children and into the minds of your children. Now, I have testified at these meetings, and I have watched them now for over 40 years as they follow the very same script. For the good of the students, parents are officially ignored, and the parents are officially then taxed more and more every single year. And bureaucrats, the education bureaucrats, are paid more every year to keep the international curriculum intact. And then, of course, every year, parents continue to surrender their children into this system in the mistaken belief that maybe the schools will get a little bit better next year. But it's not happening. It hasn't happened in my lifetime, has it? Now today, it's clear to parents by the millions, things are changing because of what's been going on in 2020, 2021. Millions of parents are beginning to see that things are now so bad, it is time to fight back. But how? How is it going to happen? Just by simply making noise at these meetings, by carrying messages around on poster board? That's not going to help. Let's talk about the clear and simple solution. You parents need to stop being a cog in the machine which is creating children who cannot think rationally and who fear all things politically incorrect. They hate those or they fear them. Now you need to also stop playing the games of federal educators. You need to stop gambling with your child's soul by convincing yourself that your little local school is somehow different from all the other ones out there that are doing so many bad things. And you tend to think and convince yourself that your little local school is better and that your little local school is protected by nice, pretty, smart Christian teachers like Laura Morris to look after the best interests of your child. But Laura Morris has never been permitted to do that for you or for your children. She has been trained to demoralize your children and make them willing cogs in the machine. But finally, after 10 years, Laura Morris quit. She quit being a cog in the machine herself. And she told school board officials this, and this is her quote on the day that she quit. "I quit your policies, I quit your training, and I quit being a cog in a machine that tells me to push highly politicized agendas to our most vulnerable constituents, children." And I commend her for this. And I remember another teacher who quit back when I was in school. His name was John Taylor Gatto, a 3 times New York Teacher of the Year. And he confessed something really interesting about the machine that he was a part of. He said that he and his fellow teachers all, and this is his quote, played a role in bringing down the West, meaning Western civilization. He said, our adult participation, and he's referring to, again, to the teachers, our adult participation was voluntary. We should have left the system when we could see that it was not a system of education. And finally, he did see that, and he got out. And he said many did get out. And then he goes on to say this, the real conspirators, he pointed out, were ourselves. When we sold our liberty for the promise of automatic security, we became like children in a conspiracy against growing up. Sad adult children who conspire against their own children, consigning them over and over to the denaturing vats of compulsory state factory schooling. And so parents, this is my message. Today's solution is really simple. Stop consigning your children to these denaturing vats of compulsory state factory schooling. And from this day forward, keeping your children in the system is condemning them to a life of demoralization and defeat and woke confusion and attitudes of hatred toward their parents and their country. And you know this. You really do know this. You know that government school is no longer an option for you and your family, and you're not quite sure what to do. But the solution is really simple. Getting out. You need to quit. And you know also that bringing your child home, if you do that, it will cost you the two-parent double-income lifestyle. And yes, it will cost you a lot. Rescuing your child will cost you many things. You may have to sell stuff to make this work. But it is now time to sacrifice everything you can for your children and your country. And you and all those thousands of parents who are complaining to the school boards right now, and it's very impressive to see it in city after city after city, you actually have a power you have not recognized or accessed. If all of you sacrificed your lifestyles for your children, and you lived on one income, and you began home educating your children tomorrow, the destructive cartel of destructive liberal indoctrination would come to an end. And of course, making a move this drastic will cost you a lot, and I'm not going to sugarcoat the decision or the actions. It will cost you a lot. My wife and I did it for our 7 children, and it did cost us. And most of you two-parent families will need to find ways to assist the single moms who are struggling to survive on a small single income in your communities. But yes, you can help them too. Your community can stop the bullying and the indoctrination in one simple act by the hundreds and by the thousands. Just do what Laura Morris did. I'm Jeffrey Botkin. Please do subscribe and share and check out the helpful video right here. And there are other videos on the channel about home educating your children and ways to begin to connect with your children. Thank you.